Whoa, is that Jason from Amigo in the Morning?
Yes, it is.
Amigo in the Morning, presented by Golden Age Furniture Restoration.
That was supposed to be much cooler. What I was trying to say was I got a haircut. It's not as short as I wanted it to be, so you can't really, tell. It's still really curly. But I don't even know if you could tell on the screen, but that was me before I got the haircut. And I wanted it to be like a piece of paper, so it would cover up my whole face. And then I'd move it, and then you'd see the hair, and it'd be much shorter. You'd be easily able to tell. Element of surprise. That didn't happen. We got a lot to get into today. Not a lot, but just a lot of talking. I didn't post an episode on Thursday. Just some medical stuff. Nothing bad. It's just Wednesday night had an appointment and then was up late in anticipation. So then didn't sleep for most of Wednesday. So I got like 4 hours of sleep Wednesday morning and then still didn't sleep till like midnight. Slept in Thursday, didn't do the episode, and then I would have late, but I had a dentist appointment because I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so they were getting a consultation, and then I was going to do it on Friday as a makeup, and then I just decided to skip an episode. Oh well. The camera angle was a little different for today's episode. I think it's back to what it normally used to be. Season 2, I had the camera way back. There's a rug in the way, so I put the camera way back, and then I had the second legs. You know, the tripod has 3 different legs. And so I had the second legs out, and the neck that you can extend up was all the way down. And it was too low for most of the episodes in Season 2. Like, you can barely see this cup. And you can see a lot of the window. So what I did was I moved the rug finally. I don't know why it took me so long to do that. And then I scooted it up a little bit, lowered each leg down to its first spot, and then rose the neck all the way up. And then it was too high, so that way I can easily lower it, which I couldn't do last time. Last time I could only raise it, and that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. Today we have a microphone, we got glasses, we're ready to go. And I updated my new set. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a Spider-Man. I don't think you can. There's a Spider-Man poster there. That's not really a poster, but like a thing there on the wall. Spider-Man Far From Home. Can't see the Far From Home part. I cut it off. It's from a Papa John's box. They had an extra large deal yesterday. So we got that. It was cheaper than a medium would be normally. So, and then I cut out the Spider-Man part. Put it on here. Check it out on my main Instagram, @option1, if you actually want to see it, because I don't think you can here. Also, last episode, my Q&A question, I thought of this later. My Q&A question was, what's the farthest you ever been from home? And literally, I saw Spider-Man Far From Home a week before, and it's relevant, and I just didn't think of the pun or the joke. Also, I don't know if this will help the light. The lighting's been bad for Season 2. I don't know if bringing the camera forward will help that, but I do not know if it's crooked. I looked crooked last episode. It looks crooked now. It always looks like it's straight, and then afterwards it always looks like it's crooked. I don't know what to do. Anyways, we're 5 minutes into this and we haven't even started talking about any of the topics yet. So, news, one piece of news. Again, it's about sports. Russell Westbrook traded to the Rockets for Chris Paul and picks. This is a good trade for the Rockets. I think they, in my opinion, I think they become the favorites in the West. Golden State, Lakers, and Rockets would be my 3. Clippers still not quite there. The Thunder had to do it because Westbrook wasn't gonna play. You know, he's over it. No Paul George anymore. They're rebuilding. They're tearing it down. Timberwolves might even be better than them. Speaking of which, I'll talk about that later. They got a lot of picks though, which helps. I think like since the draft ended, they've gotten like 8 first-round picks for the next few years. So let's go to them. Chris Paul is not worth the money. He's not good anymore. He's still good, but you know. Timberwolves didn't get Russell Westbrook. I wanted him. People are saying he's just going to be another Jimmy Butler. No, he's not. He's just a different type of personality. Westbrook is much more of a competitor, in my opinion. Also, I don't like how everybody's talking about the Knicks. The Knicks got a couple good players. Julius Randle's not a bad player. People are saying the Knicks aren't going to make the regular season and the Knicks should be in the G League. I think the Knicks are better than Timberwolves. I don't think the Knicks are that bad. I think everybody just wants to say they're much worse because they didn't get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. But then again, so did 28 other teams. Also, All-Star Game was won by the AL. That happened 4 days ago. 4-3. Bieber got MVP, which is ridiculous. They got to change the voting system somehow because Chapman did everything he did, just better. Or just later and more important, not necessarily better. And you can say it's hometown bias, but the fans are supposed to vote online. I voted for Polanco. He had one of the 4 RBIs. Probably should have been either Brantley or Gallo. Gallo had a homer. Brantley had an RBI double. Or Chapman. I think it was rigged, honestly. I don't think they actually counted the fans' votes. Brad Hand threw a lot of pitches, which was great for the Twins because we're facing the Indians right now. Yeah, it was a good game. You know, they got to change the All-Star break, and that's what I want to talk about next episode. So, I was going to talk about it today, but just so much stuff in the topic I was going to talk about. So, we'll do that next episode. A lot of baseball episodes coming up, I think. Minneapolis is high of 88 degrees, partly cloudy, and then sunny. New York City, high of 89 degrees and sunny. Miami, high of 88 degrees, partly cloudy. Houston, a high of 96, cloudy, chance of storms. And Los Angeles, 85 degrees, cloudy, and sunny. This one was a stretch. It was only cloudy till like 10 a.m., but I still wanted to put it just because it's always been 10 a.m. cloudy and then sunny. Twins beat the Indians yesterday, 5-3. Big game. They're now 6.5 games up in the division. Why does this thing keep going? Okay. They're now 6.5 games up in the division. Polanco went 1-for-4 with 2 RBIs on that in the clutch double in the 7th. Cruz went 1-for-4 with a homer. Garver went 1-for-4 with a homer. Gibson 3 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Not a great day. Didn't even get out of the 4th, but only 1 of the runs was earned. Adrianza had a bad error. Sano had a bad error earlier, but that one didn't really end up mattering because he would have been safe anyways, and then he didn't score. Just a sloppy game by the Twins. Sloppy for the Indians, too. Adrianza error, Snow error, and Kepler got picked off. Bullpen, May won an inning in 3rd. Littell won an inning. Harper won an inning. Rogers went 2 innings for the save. Now he's not probably going to be used for another week. For the Indians, Clevenger went 5 innings, pitched 4 hits, 1 run, all earned. Well, 1 earned. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. No decision. Who got the win? Harper? No. Littell? I think Littell got the win. Harper. Littell. Littell got the win, I'm pretty sure. Harper pitched the 7th. So that means Littell pitched the 6th, and the Twins scored in the 7th, which means... Yes. All right, yes. Around the MLB, Cubs beat the Pirates 4-3. Big race there. Nationals beat the Phillies 4-0. Yankees beat the Blue Jays 4-0. Rays beat the Orioles 16-4. Dodgers lost to the Red Sox in a rematch of the World Series 8-1. Mets beat the Marlins. Mets lost to the Marlins, my bad, 4-8. Texas beat Houston 9-8. A 5-run comeback down. I saw it was 8-4 middle of 7th. I was like, dang it, Houston. Danny Santana with a homer, and then Danny Santana with a walk-off single. Twins legend. Giants beat the Brewers 10-7. Diamondbacks beat the Cardinals 4-2. Tigers beat the Royals in a game that nobody cares about 5-8. Reds beat the Rockies 2-3. White Sox beat the Athletics 1-5. Angels beat the Mariners 13-0. Combined no-hitter. D. Gordon. Atlanta beat San Diego 5-3. Keuchel got the win. I think Donaldson had 3 homers too. He did that against the Twins in 2017, and I think in 2015, when he was on the Blue Jays. Tonight, the Twins play the Indians. Twins are now 57-33. 6.5 games up against the Indians, who are 50-39. Odorizzi is 10-4 with a 3.15 ERA. Bauer is 8-6 with 3.61 ERA. He's not going to be in the Indians in 3 weeks. Hopefully he gets traded to the Twins. I like him. I think, other than like politically, he's just a cool guy. Does YouTube stuff, does social media stuff. He likes the aspect of like let the kids play and just showing emotion and being the type of guy to make the game fun. And he also calls out a lot of the people who trash talk him, and he's kind of like an anti-bullying advocate, which is cool. Today's episode is brought to you by Golden Age Furniture Restoration. Do you have any old furniture in need of repair or restoration? Bring it to Golden Age Furniture Restoration in Northeast Minneapolis. Call at 612-379-0300 or visit online at goldenagemn.com. Let us bring the past back to life. All right, how do I think the season's going to go? At the second half of the season, because it's not. And we'll get into that next episode. It's not the second half at all. In the preseason, my predicted standings for the AL: Yankees were the first seed, Astros were the second seed, Twins were the 3 seed. I thought we were gonna go like 93-69, which is very possible. Red Sox were the 4 seed, and Wood's still gonna be better than the Twins, but they were the wild card. And Oakland is the 5th seed. It was tough between Oakland Angels, who I thought got a lot better, and Tampa. I think Indians were mediocre and not going to be in that race, and I kind of stick by that. And then NL, I had Milwaukee as the 1st seed, Philadelphia as the 2nd seed. Initially, I had the Mets winning that division until Bryce Harper. Colorado was the 3 seed. I predicted the Dodgers to miss the playoffs. And then I had the Mets at the 4th seed and Atlanta at the 5th seed. A lot of people got high on the Mets for a little bit. It was looking like, hey, the Mets, man. They just got better. I guess Robinson Cano might be old. Who's the other guy? Edwin Diaz? Is he the closer that was on Seattle? I don't think he's doing great. Bullpen apparently is really bad. What is happening with this mic? Yeah, that's not going to work out very well. Yeah, I predicted LA would miss the playoffs. Predicted the Cubs would miss the playoffs, which is still very possible. They were bold predictions, and they were incorrect. And I had the Mets actually winning the pennant in the NL. I thought they'd just get hot at the right time and do well in the playoffs. I don't know why. And then I had the Mets on the one side, and the AL. I didn't know whether to pick the obvious choice or to pick with my heart, so I never actually made an official prediction. It was between the Yankees and the Twins. We'll say Yankees just because. We'll say Subway Series, World Series. That was my preseason prediction. So I thought was gonna happen. That's it. At the quarter season, I never posted this, but my predictions were, I think they were pretty much this. Minnesota was going to finish with the 1 seed because we did have the 1 seed, and we have a very easy schedule, and we still do. Houston's going to be the 2 seed. Yankees are going to be the 3 seed. And 4 and 5 seed are going to be Tampa and Boston. And then Boston was behind Tampa, and I think Boston was going to play better, but not quite enough to get past Tampa, but then enough to beat Tampa in the wildcard game, lose to us. New York would beat Houston, and then we'd beat New York in the ALCS. In the NL, I had the Dodgers as the 1 seed, Brewers as the 2 seed, Phillies as the 3 seed, and then the Cubs as the 4 seed, St. Louis as the 5 seed. And then St. Louis beating Chicago, another 5 seed upset, and then St. Louis beating the Dodgers, and then Milwaukee beating Philadelphia, and then NL Central, NLCS, Brewers, Cardinals, Brewers win. World Series, Twins in 7 versus the Brewers. Border battle. That was my quarter season prediction. I never actually made it. Let's check out how things are now. In the AL West, it goes Houston, Oakland, Texas, LA, Seattle. Oakland 16 sack, Texas 7, Los Angeles 11, Seattle 19.5. Not much to say there. Oakland is very good, or Oakland's doing good, as I expected. They were not great at the beginning of the season. They beat 2 out of 3 from the Twins. Texas is the biggest surprise, arguably, of the season. I think most people would say unanimously, but I would say arguably the biggest surprise. LA's underachieving. Seattle is very bad, as I predicted. In the AL Central, Minnesota Cleveland 6.5 games back. Chicago's 13.5. Kansas City's 27 games back. Detroit's 27 games back. I think Kansas City will overcome Detroit for that last spot. Cleveland's the only team with a realistic chance to win the division. Chicago's still hanging on. Kansas City and Detroit are done. And then in the West, Oakland and Texas still have a chance. I think Texas actually has a better chance than Oakland. Although I don't think Texas will actually finish better than Oakland. If that makes any sense. AL East, New York is good. Tampa's good. 6.5 games back. Boston's 9 games back. So they're fighting in a 3-headed race. They might beat up on each other and all kind of finish 500. Not total, but for the rest of the season. Toronto's 25 games back. Baltimore's 31.5 games back. They're done. Toronto's 25.5. NL West, Dodgers. They're not losing that division. Arizona's 12.5. Colorado's 13.5. San Diego's 14. San Francisco's 16.5. All kind of bunched up, especially the middle three. NL Central's where things get interesting. Cubs are in first. Milwaukee's a game and a half. St. Louis is 3 games back. Pittsburgh's 3.5. Cincinnati's 5.5. I don't know. I honestly think Cincinnati can make the wild card. It's up in the air. At the beginning of the season, I predicted Chicago would be 4th. Cincinnati would be 3rd. St. Louis, I predicted 4 teams to miss the playoffs, even though they have 3 good teams, and Milwaukee would be the only one that would make the playoffs. And it would be St. Louis, Cincinnati, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and not by a lot either. So that division's still up for grabs. Anybody could win it. I wanted to do this before the 2 games, or the 2 days. One of them only had 1 game. But I didn't do Thursday's episode, so we're doing it today, and it's kind of weird. Atlanta, Washington 6 games back. Philadelphia 7.5 games. New York's 14.5. Miami's 19.5. Top 3 teams can win that division. We'll talk about that later. Washington's the biggest surprise to me. I predicted them to be 4th in that division, and I remember everyone picking them to either be first. It would be like, oh, Phillies, Braves, or Nationals, and you also got the Mets. And I was like, no, Nationals aren't gonna do that well. Juan Soto's only in his 2nd year. Scherzer's, I don't think he can get better. Strasburg's not getting better, I don't think. So I predicted them to finish 4th in that division, and they were really bad. They were 14th in the NL, and I was sitting back like, I told ya. I remember tweeting, I can't believe people really thought the Nationals were going to be good, and they're good. I don't know what they did, but they caught up. They're now 6 games above 500. 6 games back of Atlanta, who've kind of gotten that lead. Philadelphia's fallen down. I think things are going to change a lot in that division. We'll talk about that soon, and by soon I mean pretty much right now. So my predictions right now. Not my predictions right now. Wildcard standings. Oh my god. Okay, Rays and the Indians have the 2 wildcard spots in the AL. And then it goes Athletics, Red Sox, Rangers, Angels, White Sox, Mariners, Blue Jays, Royals, Tigers, Orioles. Athletics, Red Sox, and Rangers, I think, have realistic chances. Angels, White Sox hanging on. And Mariners, Blue Jays, Royals, Tigers, Orioles, done. In the NL, it goes Nationals, Phillies, Nationals again. And then they're all grouped together. Diamondbacks, Brewers, Rockies, Padres, Cardinals, Pirates, Giants, Reds, Mets, Marlins. I think every team but the Marlins has a chance. I think Pirates, the Diamondbacks is a realistic chance. So here's my predictions. In the AL, the 1 seed will be the Yankees. They will be just good enough against the tough NL East. I don't know how many more. I didn't do any research too. I didn't look up opposing opponents' win percentage or stuff like that. I just went by what division they're in. So I think Yankees will barely hang on. Twins will get the 2 seed. They'll hang on above the Astros because they play in such an easy division. I think we'll beat up on the White Sox when we're healthy. We'll beat up on the Royals. Beat up on the Tigers. Indians aren't that good. Astros get the 3 seed. They're the best team in that division. I mean, probably the best 3 seed in a long time. Rays will get the 4th seed. Red Sox will be the 5th seed. Just like my quarter season predictions, I don't think there's any way the Indians hold on. I think every team that can hold on will get better, and I think Boston's gonna get more better than any of them because it's Boston, not Cleveland. And I think Athletics will finish above the Indians, will finish above the Rangers. Those will be the top 8 teams. Those 3 miss out in the playoffs. So my 5 teams, just like the quarter season with slightly different order: Yankees, Twins, Astros, Rays, Red Sox. In the NL, Dodgers are finishing with the 1 seed. Things get a little crazy here. Second seed, the Phillies. Now here's why I say the Phillies. They're too good to not play good. And there's this whole Philadelphia sports thing. They've won 2 titles in 12 years. Or 11 years. And I mean, the city of Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia will get 2 seed. Eventually I was thinking 3 seed, but because of where they are in relation to the team I think will be the 3 seed, which isn't the Cubs, it's the Brewers, I think Philadelphia will get the 2nd seed, because right now Philadelphia is 3 games up, and because they have to overcome Atlanta, that means they're going to win a lot of games, and Chicago's 5 games up, but Milwaukee's only 2 games up. So right now Philadelphia is already better than Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee and Philadelphia both overcome their respective divisions. Milwaukee doesn't have to play as well as Philadelphia does in order to win their divisions. That way I think Philadelphia gets a 2 seed, Brewers get the 3 seed. I think the Brewers are still a better team than the Phillies, and we'll get to that in a moment. 4 seed's going to be the Braves. They're not going to miss out on the playoffs completely. They're too good for that. Or they've done too much for that. I mean, it's always possible. A 5 seed was tough. 5 seed was really tough. The Nationals aren't going to make the playoffs. They can't. The Nationals cannot make the playoffs. It's going to be the Cubs. It's going to be the Cubs. And 6 through 11, I have Nationals, Rockies, Cardinals, Reds, Pirates, Diamondbacks. I wanted to put the Reds in that 5 spot. And then the Nationals, Rockies, Cardinals, they're all good. And they're all either exceeding expectations or slightly disappointing. And yeah. In the playoffs, I think Boston's still going to beat Tampa. Atlanta will beat the Cubs in the wildcard games. So you got 8 teams left. Minnesota's going to beat Houston. That's my prediction. That's like an actual pick. It's not just Minnesota bias. They already won the season series against them. Both teams are going to get better. Houston might get a little better, more better because of the market, but I think Twins will get better too. I think we need a starter and 2 relievers, like a Stroman, a Will Smith, and a Shane Green. Just a possibility. Got to give up a lot though. Just keep Gratterall and Lewis and Kirilloff. Okay. New York will beat Boston. Rematch of last year's ALDS. Dodgers will beat Atlanta. Milwaukee will beat Philadelphia. I'm not going to pick against the Twins. I'm not going to pick the Yankees. I think the Yankees are a better team. I don't think there's any reason the Twins will win. I'm just going to pick the Twins because I can't say the Yankees are going to go to the World Series over the Twins. Twins are going to the World Series. ALCS. Milwaukee is playing Philadelphia in the ALDS. Atlanta's playing Dodgers. Dodgers playing Atlanta in the ALDS. Milwaukee's a better team. They're going to finish with a worse record than Philadelphia. They're a better team. They're going to win in 3 or 4 games. Atlanta's really good. They're better than last year when the Dodgers rolled over them in 4 games. It's going to take 5 games for the Dodgers to beat Atlanta. Hyunjin Ryu, from what I know, is not a experienced playoff pitcher, which shouldn't matter. Walker Buehler has been shaky. He'll still be shaky. Kershaw, not having his best year. Shouldn't have been an all-star in my opinion. Milwaukee beats the Dodgers. Dodgers not going to the World Series. You can call it stupid. You can call it stubborn. You can call it hung up on my old predictions. And you're probably right. Just like quarter season, Twins, Brewers. Twins win, obviously. And I just jinxed it. So at the end of the season, just blame me for this. Yeah, I think Milwaukee will beat Atlanta or LA. And I don't know why. I just got a feeling. Dodgers choke in the playoffs. Yeah. Today's Q&A question isn't much of a Q&A question. It's describe yourself in 3 words. This is an exercise that is done a lot. I don't actually remember doing it any specific times. I'd say shy. Is it bad? That's the first one I think of. Shy, competitive, and I don't know what's a good word for it. Serious or Mature, as in knowing what's important while still being able to be lighthearted. I don't know what the right way to put it is. Those are my 3 ways. Those are my 3 terms. 3 words. At the end of every episode, I want you to get something out of every episode. I want this to be an experience you get more knowledgeable, and that will either happen in the way of a motivational quote, a piece of advice, or a fun fact. And today, it's a piece of advice. Today's piece of advice is: fear is a state, virtue is a trait. You know who came up with that? I came up with that, from what I know. I mean, I don't think anybody else has said it. 8th grade world history class, world studies class, not world history. We're talking about, I don't know, it was one of the old guys, might have been Confucius or something, and their teachings were with virtue, and it was revolutionary for the time, or something. And we're doing a debate, a wall-to-wall debate. You know, you agree or you disagree with a statement, you go to one side of the room, you ask for the ball, you get the ball, you get to talk. So what I said, of why, I don't know what the question was, like agree with their statement or something. I said, fear is a state, but virtue is a trait. So instead of so what I'm trying to get out of this piece of advice is, if you're teaching something, if you teach it out of fear, out of threat, like if you don't do this, you're gonna, they'll get something done then. And then when they need something else, they're not going to threaten themselves. But virtue, and what does virtue even mean? Like, goodness. Whatever it means. It's a trait. So fear is temporary most of the time. PTSD, that's a whole different thing. Virtue, you will learn how to do something and why you do something. And then when you have to do something later in the world, later in life, I don't know what I was trying to say, you will be able to do it because it's a trait. It stays with you. Fear, oh my God, I got to do this, and then I'm not going to do this, threaten me, and then I'll do it. So yeah, that's just kind of what, yeah, and my teacher liked it. So yeah, it's a pretty good quote by a 14-year-old. Might have been 13 at the time. 8th grade. Yeah, we'd have been 13 or 14, probably 14. Subscribe to this channel, Amigo in the Morning. Subscribe to my channel, main channel, MIDSEASON, link in the description to that. Follow me on Instagram at MIDSEASON so you can see this poster at Amigo in the Morning. Follow me on Twitter at ObservationCell, at Amigo in the AM, and my Snapchat ObservationCell. Go to my website jasoncell.wixsite.com/jsellers. Breakout Creator of the Year 2020. This is by far the longest episode. Coming up on 29 minutes. I think about one of those minutes will not be in the video because it was before I started recording. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting my summer job. And subscribe so I can get that. By the way, I went on Social Blade for the first time, and I found out in the past year my YouTube channel would have earned about $429. Now, I don't know. I think that's probably without copyright stuff on my football videos, which is what most of my views are. So I probably wouldn't have, even if I was monetized and had 1,000 subscribers. But why take a chance? Subscribe. Help a guy out. Help a Minnesotan out. We're cold up here, and we're not very good at sports.